Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. We are going to be tackling a declutter today. This video is long overdue. I've been meaning to do this for the last 6 months. I think I initially meant for this to be a spring video. Well, here we are in October. I need to get rid of some things. I need to do some organizing. I'm going to take you guys along for the ride. So we're going to do this in two parts. I'm going to start with my non-eyeshadow makeup first. Basically anything that's not an eyeshadow palette is going to be part one. That's my little unit here on my right, which is just a drawer IKEA unit. And then for part two, we'll tackle all of my eyeshadows. So I imagine this video particularly today because I have so much in these drawers that need to be cleared out and I need to do some reorganizing. Probably going to be a little bit on the longer side. Grab a snack, grab a drink. I'm going to walk you guys through everything, kind of show you the before and after, and then we'll be back in a couple of days for part two in the eyeshadow palette. So I hope that you guys are excited. I love and dread doing these videos. I dread them because they're so much work and I'm not very decisive and I have a hard time getting rid of things at times, but I love the feeling when you get things cleared out and organized and kind of in their proper place. It's a very good feeling. Before we get into it, if you are a new visitor here, I want to give you a special welcome. Thank you for joining me today. Please be sure to give the video a thumbs up. Make sure that you are subscribed and that your notifications are turned on. With that said, let's jump right in. So here's a little peek of my makeup room, of my filming setup. There's my eyeshadow palette bookshelf in the corner over there. This is my desk unit that holds my kind of shop my stash. Some tools here on the side, and then this is my unit that holds basically everything else. I'll try to get to some of the things on top here. These are mostly perfumes and some hair products, lotions. I have a couple of my foundations right here that can't be in my drawer because they leak a little bit. Then let me just walk you through some of these drawers. A lot of this is going to get reorganized. I'm not quite sure how I'm going to do this, if I'm going to do it all on the floor or kind of drawer by drawer. This is my primers, my concealers, all of my brow products. Drawer number 2 has all of my foundations. Drawer number 3, I've got all of my lipsticks in here, some lip liners, my lashes in here. If I can declutter enough, I might throw my lipsticks and lip glosses together. Kind of just have one lip drawer because, as you will see in a second, I need a lot more room for all of my blushes. Here's drawer number 3. This is all blushes. These are my bronzers, which, I mean, those are pretty packed as well, but honestly, like most of these are blushes. Down here, this is all blushes over here. I clearly have a weakness for blushes. I'm finding more and more every year. It's my favorite thing to try. It's one of my favorite makeup products. Drawer number 5 down here are all of my lip glosses. I have my setting sprays in here. I have some straggling powders in here that I need to move down to the other drawer. A lot of stuff in here I know I need to clutter that's either gone bad or that I just don't use. And I have so many lip balms, you guys. This has been the year of the lip balm and I'm kind of loving it. It's gonna be hard for me to get rid of some of those. And this last drawer is kind of where you're gonna see the most changes. So my plans for down here are to completely get rid of all my nail polishes because I just don't really use those anymore because I get my nails professionally done. By the way, ignore them in this video because I have a nail appointment tomorrow. I have so much regrowth. I'm long overdue. So those I'm gonna get rid of. I think I might move all of my lip products down here, move my powders up and combine them with perhaps concealers. Maybe that will clear a little room out up here. Perhaps I'll just do primers and brow products. I do have these little containers right here. We'll kind of play it by ear as we go and I'll show you guys the finished product. So let's get started with drawer number 1. Okay, we are gonna start with drawer 1, which is a disaster. And I think to fix this, because this drawer always is overflowing, I'm actually gonna move my concealers to a different drawer. I think I'll end up combining those with my powders once I get rid of all those nail polishes at the bottom. So we're just gonna move these out of the way for now. I do think I'm gonna need an extra organizer in here to hold some of these primers. I will declutter a few of these, but probably not a ton. So let's start with the primers over here. Let's start with the ones I'm gonna get rid of. I think there's just gonna be a few. This is the Milk Makeup Cloud Glow. I haven't used this enough to really know that it's doing much for me, or I guess consistently enough to see that it's doing very much for me. It's a very lightweight primer. I need more hydration from my primer. This just doesn't quite give it to me. I'm also gonna get rid of this. This is the Vegan Collagen Skin Solve Primer. I love this stuff. It's really nice and hydrating, but it's quite old. I think I've had it for about 4 years now and it's expired. I need to toss that. This right here is just a little toner from Glow Recipe, which I need to move up to my bathroom because I would use that with my skincare. I don't think I've even tried it. I've had it for a few years. The ones I'm gonna keep, let's go with the minis. So I have a Stay Glowy Super Gel Mini. I am definitely keeping this. By the way, a dupe for that is the Physicians Formula Butter Glow Liquid Highlighter. These are basically the exact same texture, color. I like them both. I'm going to be keeping them both. I'm also going to keep this Tatcha Dewy Skin Cream, which I've had as a sample for like a year or so. I'm probably getting close to finishing this up. I like this. I don't know that I like it enough to spend the high price tag on it. It's a nice moisturizer, but I just don't like spending a lot of money on a moisturizer when I find the drugstore ones that I use or the K-Beauty ones working perfectly well. I'm definitely keeping my Glow Recipe Watermelon Dewdrops. I have a full size, a mini, and then a like ultra mini, which I travel with these two, so I will be keeping both of these. I'm gonna keep my Pretty Smart face primer. This is not my favorite drugstore primer, but it's a nice one if you don't like the more sticky kind of grippy ones, so I'm gonna keep that for now. I'm gonna keep my Flower Beauty Priming Whip, which I love. Unfortunately, Flower Beauty is getting harder and harder to find, but until I use mine up, I'm gonna keep it because I do still use it. I'm gonna keep my Milk Hydro Grip Primer, which is this is a very good dupe for the Wet n Wild Clingy. I actually think I like the Wet n Wild just as much. It's my favorite primer, my most used primer probably of this year, but I'll keep them both. I also like the Grippy Primer from Maybelline. This one's pretty good. It's a little bit more lightweight. I'm also keeping both of these, my Halo Glow and my Hollywood Flawless Filter. I like them both. And then last, I'm going to keep my Easy Blur primer. This is one that is a contender for declutter. I probably could declutter this, but so many people love this. I feel obligated to figure out how to like it as much as everyone else does. I don't dislike it. I just don't find that it blurs my pores as much as some people think. I don't know, maybe I just need to give it more time or find the right combination with foundation. I think I like the foundation, by the way, more than the primer, but I still don't know that I love them as much as so many other people I've noticed have loved them. It's just sometimes how it goes. All right, so there are my primers. That looks so much better. Primer's not one of those things I try out very often, so I don't imagine that I'm gonna have an issue with this area in the future. Let's tackle all these brow products though. These are mostly all brow products. I've got some miscellaneous things in here. Eyelash curler pads, some random Lumify eye drops that we can just move over here. I have a backup of the e.l.f. Instant Lift Brow Pencil, which I know so many people love. I don't hate this. It's super cheap. If you are just on the tightest of budgets and you need something that's just gonna get the job done, this is a good one because it's, I think $2, maybe $3 now. It's not my favorite though. I much prefer using a slim brow pencil, but I'll keep this one around in case I do a budget or drugstore video coming up. Okay, I'm gonna get rid of my Anastasia Beverly Hills Brow Freeze. This is expired and dried out. I meant to replace this during the 21 Days of Beauty sale and I forgot to buy it on the day that it was on sale, so maybe I'll pick up a new one soon. I have this Alter Ego eyeshadow primer. I don't use eyeshadow primer very much anymore, but on occasion, if it's a really hot day or a long day, or it's maybe I find a formula that just creases on me a little bit, I like this one a lot. They do send this to me when they send me eyeshadow palettes on occasion, and I think it's just as good as the Urban Decay or the Too Faced Primer Potion, which I used to really love. As I'm getting older, I just don't find my eyeshadow creases as much because my lids are so dry. I will be keeping both of the NYX brow glues. I will be keeping my Refi Brow Gel in the shade Medium Brown. Also, my Pretty Smart Brow Gel. These are probably my favorite tinted brow gels that I have. I think I'm gonna pass along the Milk Clear Brow Gel. I think this was sent to me by them. If I am using a clear brow gel, I prefer these three right here, I think, which I will keep all of these. I would say this is like a light medium hold. This is a medium hold. This one is like super, super hold. The Butter, Physicians Formula Butter Brow Gel. This stuff is super stiff in your brows, but they will not move if you put this in. I think I'll also pass along the Wow Brow from e.l.f. Actually, I'm gonna hang on because I have been trying to use my Benefit Gimme Brow recently and I find myself liking it a little bit more each time I try it. So maybe I'm coming around to the softer hold tinted brow gel, so maybe I'll keep these both for now. In the future, I might declutter this one. I do think I like the Pretty Smart one a little bit better. This Wet n Wild retractable brow pencil. This one's too chubby for me. I have all of these other brow pencils. Oh my goodness. I will probably end up keeping most of these. This one, the Blade Brow by Relove. I think this brand is gone. They don't sell it at my Walmart anymore. I haven't been able to find it online either, which is unfortunate because they have a lot of products that I like, but I think I'm gonna have to declutter most of them. So I'm just gonna do it. I'm gonna go ahead and get rid of that one. It's too bad. That's one of my favorite under $5 brow pencils. I think I'll keep all of these. Most of these are K-Beauty brands with the exception of the Precisely My Brow, my favorite high-end brow pencil, because you already have a backup of this one right here. I always just like to have one on backup. I don't use it every single day because I have so many other brow pencils, but if price wasn't an option, it definitely would be in the running for my very, very top picks. These are some from Pony Effect, K-Beauty brand, Unleasha. This is a micro pencil. Also the Morphe, this one, the Morphe micro pencil. I like these. They're a little tricky to use. You're gonna waste a lot of product with these because sometimes they break if you put too much pressure on them or roll them up too much. They snap very easily, so you have to be super careful with them, but they give you really good precision. And then I have my Peri Paris Skinny Brow. I think I have two of those actually. There's another one. That's an older one. I think they're both the same shade though. This is the Barrage Slim Brow Pencil from Etude House, which I still use. This one right here is also K-Beauty Brow Pencil. This is a wooden sharpenable one, which did not work for me. It's a little bit too gray in tone as well, so I'm gonna get rid of that. Also going to get rid of my e.l.f. brow soap. I much prefer my Sacco brow soap, which you can get on Amazon. I think a 2-pack is like $3.99 or $4.99. I'm gonna keep these. These are the e.l.f. Shape and Stay. I know e.l.f. doesn't make these anymore, unless you happen to find them in a drugstore. I love these things when I'm in a real big hurry. Also gonna keep my Unleasha Shape Pomade Eyebrow Fixer. This stuff is, it's like glue. It kind of, the consistency of this reminds me of the, if you've ever used the Got To Be Glued, this is just like that. Like it has that same super tacky, sticky feel. It does dry clear. It's kind of hard to, it's very gloopy when you put it on. I have to wipe a lot of the excess product out and then just really brush it through my brows. But once you get it in, it's not going anywhere. This is another shade of the Florence by Mills. I had this before in a really dark shade and I decluttered it. I think I'm gonna keep this one. I do like it. It's still a little dark on me. This is the e.l.f. Ultra Precision Brow Pencil. I think I'll keep this one because I do like this better than the $2 brow pencil from e.l.f. This might be $3 now, but over here I've got the LA Colors Browy Wowie Skinny Brow Pencil. This one's in medium brown. I really like this. And then my Ulta Beauty. And then I'm also gonna keep my Etude House Clear Brow Jelly. So not a lot happening with that drawer. By the way, this is my Sydney Grace Brow palette. This is the medium brown one, which I do use quite a bit, so I'm definitely keeping this. And I just have some backup things up here. Actually, these little cluster lashes. I can't remember what I thought of these. I'm gonna throw them in with my lashes. We'll get to those in a sec. Okay, much better. Drawer number 2, foundations. We're just gonna go through and pull out the things I know I am not gonna be using. Let's start with this. It's the Pretty Smart foundation. I did not like this at all. It was a little bit too dark for me and it's kind of like a greasy, it felt a little greasy on my skin. I just didn't like it. I'm also gonna get rid of the Laura Mercier Tinted Moisturizer. I kind of feel obligated to keep this because I know a lot of people love it, but this is an old formulation and I wasn't that impressed with it anyways, so I'm gonna pass that along. I also think the shade was a little too light. This is the Super Dewy Skin Tint from Makeup Revolution in medium light. This stuff was way too light for me and I didn't like it. It kind of reminded me of something along the lines of like the Hollywood Flawless filter, but not as good. I definitely didn't like it as much as the Flawless filter or the e.l.f. This is a Misha BB cream in number 27, which is pretty much gone. I can probably just throw that away. I've got these two dewy foundations. I have Soft Beige, which is probably close to my, what would match me, and then I have Caramel. I don't know that I can emphasize how often I use this to mix into other foundations that are too light for me, especially as I've been self-tanning more and more the last couple years. Most of my foundations are too light, so I need to add a little bit of this. It works so well, it's super affordable. It's a great mix-in. It mixes into any formula flawlessly. I love it. I probably am getting close to using this thing up. It's looking pretty empty. I will definitely buy another one when this is gone. On its own, it's way too dark for me, but it's a great mix-in. I think I'm gonna pass along the Soft Beige one because I just don't use this foundation on its own very often because it's just not quite long wearing enough for me. I'm gonna keep all of my Anastasia Beverly Hills Luminous foundations. I have shades 250C, 160C, 270C. I love this foundation, it's great. Definitely keeping my Super Stay 30 Hour, love that one. These are some Flower Beauty Light Illusions. I think I'm gonna pass along this one. It's a little too peachy, it's way too light. This was really just meant to be a mix-in for foundations that are too dark for me. This is Shell 10, and I almost never reach for it, so I'm gonna get rid of that one. I will keep these two though. I have Nude L3 and Tawny M4. This one I will use as a mix-in on occasion. And then this one is a pretty good match just on its own. I'm gonna keep my LYS. I'm getting pretty close to using this up. This is the shade MN3. I I really love this foundation. I think, has it been discontinued? We'll get to foundation sticks in a minute. I'm gonna keep my Bare Minerals Bare Pro. This one is in Cashmere 06, which is a little bit too light for me, but again, I just mix it with something else, and this stuff has insane levels of coverage. It is very cakey, but if you need something like for pictures, this is a good one. Another good one for pictures, one of my favorites, is the Airbrush Flawless Foundation from Charlotte Tilbury. Again, these are two of the highest coverage foundations that I own. I mean, full coverage. A little on the cakey side. You want to be a little careful how much you apply or where you apply them, but if you have stuff to cover, that's going to get the job done. Your Backstage, I'm actually wearing this today. My two Kosas foundations. I have Something Olive 160 and Medium Neutral Olive 210. This one's a little too light, this one's a little too dark, but together they make a good shade for me. I like this foundation a lot. I'm getting pretty close, especially with the darker one, to using it up. So I want to try and completely use that one up. Have my About Face Performer in LM1 Neutral, great foundation. This one I can get rid of. This is the Revolution Super Serum in F6. Again, unfortunate that this brand is going away because I thought they had some great products, and this was one of them. I thought this was a really good serum foundation, solid medium coverage, nice and lightweight, a decent shade, but they don't make it anymore, so I'm gonna toss that. Okay, I've got my Milani Conceal and Perfect in 03. This is getting close to being gone. It looks so nasty when you lay your foundations down on their side like this. They look really gross, but good foundation. I definitely will buy this again when it is gone. This is the Laura Geller. I got this at a Marshall's for like $6. It's in the shade Light. I actually kind of like this foundation. Alone, the shade is way off. It's too light and too peachy, but mixed in with like my Wet n Wild, it makes for a really pretty, kind of reminds me of like the Futurist Hydro Rescue. Let's just move on to that one. I'm definitely keeping this. Definitely keeping my Age Perfect. This is very close to being gone. I imagine this will be gone soon. I'm keeping both of my Superstay skin tints, two of my absolute favorites. I have 220 and 118, and then I have a backup of 220. This one's just about gone. Okay, I'm finally getting rid of my Soft Glam. I just don't like this foundation. I tried very hard. I just don't like it. But I know tons of people do, so maybe someone else will enjoy this more than I did. I think I'm also gonna get rid of my Flawless Satin Foundation from e.l.f. I actually kind of like this foundation. I couldn't quite find my perfect shade match though. I have the shades Vanilla, Cashew, and Light Ivory. Light Ivory is definitely too light for me. I'm just gonna pass this one along. This is a powder foundation. This needs to go with my powder, so we'll move that. Definitely keeping my L'Oreal Infallible Fresh Wear. This is the newer packaging in 425. Love that. I'm gonna keep my Nude Glow. I don't like this nearly as much as I like the CC Cream Illumination, but I like it okay. The more I've used it, the more I've kind of come to like it. Still not my favorite, but it was pricey, so I'm gonna keep it for now. This can be thrown away. This is my old one that ran out. Okay, I've got a newer Snail Repair BB Cream. I think they've reformulated this or changed it. One of my all-time favorite BB creams. I absolutely love this stuff. I'm gonna definitely keep it. I do use it quite a bit. I have my Purito Cica Clearing BB Creams. I don't think they make this anymore. I think they have a new formulation or a new type of BB cream. I need to try that one out, but I do love this, so I am going to keep it for now. This is the Milk Hydro Grip Gel Tint, which I did not like at all. So I'm gonna get rid of this, see if someone else might enjoy it. Someone young with nothing to cover, beautiful skin. I'm gonna keep my Easy Blur. I do enjoy that. I'm also keeping my Physicians Formula Diamond Perfector. This is a lighter coverage foundation, but it's really pretty on the skin. I still need to pick up another shade of this. I end up just mixing it with my Wet n Wild, but that tends to work just fine, and it gives me a little extra coverage, so I've been enjoying that. Okay, let's go over to these. I've got the Bobbi Brown Weightless Skin Foundation. I picked this up during the last Ulta Beauty sale. I like it. It's a little bit light for me. I went with the shade Beige. I imagine in the middle of winter, this will probably be a perfect shade match for me. I would say it's like a light medium coverage, but it is buildable, so I do like it built up a little bit. It's pretty on the skin. It again kind of reminds me of the Futurist Hydro Rescue, but a little bit less coverage. I think this one has just a little bit better coverage, but kind of a similar, very serum-like, lightweight, thin formula. And I have my Lawless Forget the Filler Foundation in the shade 7L. I like this foundation. I don't love it though. As far as high-end foundations that I've tried in the last while, this is probably one of my least favorites, but I don't hate it and I spent the money on it, so In the summer, it's actually a really good shade match for me, so I'll keep it around for now. This is just an old bottle of the Holika hardcover in 04 Honey. I got this on Yes Style. It's a K-Beauty brand. This is one of my favorite lighter shade foundations when I have a foundation that's too dark for me. This makes a great mix-in. So I do use it quite often for that, so I'm gonna keep it around. Last up, we have these two foundation sticks. I have the Essence foundation stick. This one is in the shade 170. It's a little peachy on me, but I actually like the formula of this. I've only tried it out like twice. I just filmed a video with this and then I tried it out one more time after that. This is the Conceal and Perfect, which I probably like a little better, but the price difference between these two, as I ranted about in that video, is insane. If you get this at Ulta, it's like $18, whereas this one I think is $6. So huge price difference there, considering they're both drugstore brands. Honestly, I don't find myself reaching for foundation sticks very often. It's just not a formula I really enjoy that much. Found one more straggler. This is the Camel CC Cream in the shade Light 240W. It's a little bit yellow on me, but I do really like the Camel CC Cream. It's a nice drugstore version of something along the lines of these. I wouldn't say these are like dupes for each other. I actually think the formulas are a little bit different, but it has good medium coverage. I think they have a pretty decent shade range. Here we have my lipstick drawer, along with some lip liners. I've got some eyeliners in here. I think I'm gonna find a new place for my backup eyeliners. I'm also gonna find a new place for my lashes. So I think what I'm gonna do is I am going to actually take two drawers down from that is all my lip glosses down here. I'm gonna move these up and then we're gonna tackle them all together and try and consolidate them into one drawer. So I'm gonna start over on this side and just pick the lipsticks that I know I still wear and use regularly. This is probably gonna be a little bit cutthroat because I actually don't use lipstick very much anymore and a lot of these are old. I am gonna keep all of my MAC lipsticks. I'm also keeping my JK Magic from Charlotte Tilbury. By the way, these MAC lipsticks I have, actually there's one of these I don't like anymore. So I love Blankety. It's one of my favorite nudes. This one is Cream Cup, which I actually don't like anymore. It's a little bit too frosty for my liking, so I'm gonna pass that one along. Yash I'm keeping. Jubilee. This one's kind of like bland. It's pretty though. It's kind of like a pinky brown nude. It's a little bit more sheer. I think it's a cream sheen. No, it's a luster. And then Viva Glam 2, which is a great cool tone nude. I'm gonna get rid of all of my Bite Beauties. These are all old and need to be, I haven't used them for years. So I'm gonna keep this NARS lipstick. This is Anita. This is a really pretty packaging and formula of lipstick. I think a subscriber gave this to me years ago. I don't use it a ton because I just don't use lipstick in general all that often, but it's a really pretty formula. I'm also gonna keep my Pat McGrath. I don't love this, but it's Pat McGrath, so I feel like I have to keep it because the packaging, I mean, how can you not love that packaging? I do use Peachy Nude from Flower Beauty quite a bit, so I think I'll keep this one. I'm gonna get rid of my other two Flower Beauties in Spiced Petal and Naked Blush. I'm also gonna get rid of this very old CoverGirl one and this Milani in Pleasure. I just don't use it very much. I think I'm also gonna get rid of all of my Maybelline ones. I actually really like Maybelline lipsticks, but these are all quite old and I just haven't used them, I think at least for a year. So this is an old L'Oreal one that I don't even think they make anymore. This is really messy. I should probably just throw that away. This is Tan Lines from Sephora, which I do like. I also like my Juvia's Place lipstick in Chic. This is a pretty color. I think I'll also keep 2020 and then I'm gonna get rid of Libra, which is a little bit too brown for me. Okay, and then I've got a lot of liquid lipsticks that need to be tackled. Okay, I'm gonna keep my two Maybelline reds. I think I have Pioneer and Hustler. I'm also gonna keep this Flower Melon Pop because it's such a unique shade. I'm also keeping this one by Hank and Henry, which is so old. Every time I come to a declutter, I'm embarrassed about how old this is, but I've not found a dupe for this shade, which is Petal Pusher. And it is the prettiest, almost red, kind of mauve-y, red neutral. I can't even explain it. It's the prettiest shade I've ever found, and I've been trying to find a dupe for that for so long. I thought maybe these two Sephora lip colors together could dupe that, but not quite, so I'm gonna pass these along. I'm also going to pass along all of the Persona liquid lipsticks, which I think have all been, I don't think she makes these anymore. They're very old, but I am going to keep Phoenix because I think it's one of the greatest orangey reds ever, even though it's old. When I do a bold red lip, this is one of the ones I always reach for. So Pioneer's close to this. It's not quite as orange though, so I'm gonna keep that one as well. And look at that, you guys. Look at how much I got rid of. I'm so impressed. I mean, this whole drawer was just for lipsticks and lip liners. I think I will probably end up having to move out. Maybe move out my lip liners. I don't know. We'll see. Maybe I'll leave these at the back. These are basically my backup lip liners, which I probably should show you. This is my go-to lip liner container that sits on my desk, and these are the ones that I use on the daily. They're the ones that come with me in my purse. Basically all my Maybelline, Buxom, About Face, Charlotte Tilbury, MAC, LA Girl, Natasha Denona, all of those are in here. And now we can attempt to tackle all of these lip glosses and lip balms. This is where it's gonna get very, very tricky. Let me just kind of pick through and go through the ones I know are either old or expired or I just don't use. Starting with this Pacifica one I can get rid of. I just don't use it much anymore. Since I've found the ColourPop, Persona, Summer Fridays, the Milk Makeup ones, the Essence ones, those are what I've really been using the most over the last 6 to 10 months. So this one, someone else will enjoy. It's actually a really nice formula. This Persona, this is her old packaging of the Day Mask. So the new one is right here. It's the shade Bubble. So I have both of them. This is the old packaging. This is her new packaging. So I'll pass the old one along. I think I'm gonna pass along the Physicians Formula Diamond Gloss. It's actually a really nice formula, but I don't ever use clear gloss. I just don't. Also the Flower Beauty Chill Out Lip Glaze, I'm going to pass along. Again, I just don't think you're gonna be able to find that one for much longer. Okay, so this one, this is from a brand called Langani. I got this on Amazon. I actually really like this, but it leaks and it's making a big mess of my drawer. It reminds me of just about every other lip oil, from the Wet n Wild one to the Huda one. There's a lot of these that I've tried. I think I'm gonna pass along both of my About Face lip glosses. I really like this formula. I just picked two shades I don't really like. I have the shade Wish You Were Here, which is a little bit too dark for my liking, and Prelude, which is a really interesting, has like a golden sheen to it, which I just think looks kind of odd on my lips or my skin tone. I'm just not a big fan. I like the formula though. These are really nice and comfortable, but I don't love these two colors. I'm also gonna pass along my House Labs in the shade Guava. Someone else will use this a lot more than I have been using it. I probably used it 3 times. I've had it for over a year. So I'm also gonna pass along my NYX Fat Oil Lip Gloss in Follow Back. It's not bad. I just don't use it very much. And if I'm gonna reach for a NYX lip gloss, I'm gonna reach for the old school butter glosses. I'll probably keep all of these. I like them better. They've come up with so many different lip products since. I've tried a handful of them out and I just like their butter gloss. I always feel like the newer ones are just kind of unnecessary. Okay, I'm definitely getting rid of this. I thought I already decluttered this. This is the e.l.f. Squeeze Me Lip Balm. Cute little tiny packaging. It's not bad, it's just, I didn't love it. This is the Water Gloss. This is a really interesting formula. It feels like a gel on your lips. I got this. This is from the brand Romand, which I got on YesStyle. It's a K-beauty brand. It's just really old. I probably need to throw this one away. Let me just pull out all of my Milk Makeup ones. Yeah, I gave one of these to my daughter-in-law. I'm keeping the rest. I enjoy these. Charlie loves putting these on and I love having one. I actually went and got one out of my purse, out of my car. They're just nice to have around. They sent these to me, which I was very grateful for. I really have been enjoying them. I would very likely not have bought all of these for sure. I might have picked up 1 or 2, especially if I had had a chance to go into the store and swatch and smell these because they smell so delicious and amazing. But they don't provide a ton of color. They basically just give you a little bit of shine, which is fine for on the go. Really, if you are not into scented or flavored lip balms or glosses, I would just pass on these altogether because that's really the main selling point for the Balmades in my opinion. I'm also going to keep all of my Persona ones. I thought I might declutter the pomegranate, but I'm actually finding this one's actually really pretty for the winter and fall. It's definitely a deeper lip gloss than I often reach for, but it's a pretty color. I'm gonna keep all of these. Oh wait, that one's Essence. There it is. There's the other Persona one. So I'm gonna keep all 4 of these. Speaking of Essence, I am also going to keep all of my Essence Super Peptide lip balms. Oh boy, this is not going well. Keeping my 2 Laneige lip glowy balms. I have Gummy Bear and then this Candy Cane one I have for Christmas time. I love the Laneige. By the way, speaking of Laneige, I have become a massive, massive fan of the lip sleeping mask, which I don't know why it took me so long to get on board. using the lip sleeping mask as a sleeping mask, but it actually works. Even my husband or my kids, if it's winter time or maybe they've had a cold and they're getting those crusty chapped lips, I will medicate them with the Laneige lip sleeping mask because it works so well. It's the only thing that stays on my lips all night long, and my lips will still feel hydrated when I wake up in the morning. It's miraculous. I haven't found anything quite like it yet. I'm gonna keep my Summer Fridays. Definitely like the cherry one the best. This one is pink sugar, which is basically just like a clear pink. And I'm keeping my Fresh Kiss Glowy Lip Balm, which if you don't want to fork out the money for the Summer Fridays cherry, go with the Fresh Kiss. They are dupes for each other. They even kind of smell similar to one another. Honestly, it's just as good as the Summer Fridays. Okay, now that cleared some room, let's try and get rid of a few, shall we? I'm gonna get rid of this one. This is from Revolution. This is the Shimmer Balm. I would have kept this, but now that I have my e.l.f. Glimmer Balm, this one is in the shade Candy Coated. I think I like this one better. It's not quite as frosty. Gives you the same kind of blue sparkle. This one's just a little bit too extreme. I'm also gonna pass along these two from Sydney Grace. They're just a little bit too dark for me. They're very, very pigmented. These are the shades Kaylee and Anne. I have the shade Bailey, which is kind of more of a nude. I will be keeping Bailey and passing these two along. Okay, let me go through and grab all of my lifter glosses, all of which I will be keeping. I've got Opal, Peach Ring, Silk, and this pepper one in the shade Blush Blaze. Love them all. Best glosses at the drugstore, in my opinion. Well, if you like something that smells really yummy. I'm gonna go ahead and get rid of the Diamond Plumper Gloss. I actually really like this. I just don't need it. I'm also gonna get rid of the other Flower Beauty Chill Out Lip Gloss. I'm gonna get rid of this Wet n Wild one. It's pretty old. I'm also gonna get rid of this Ofra one, which is also pretty old. This is in Natural. It's actually really pretty. I just don't need it. I am gonna keep my yummy glosses from CoverGirl because, you know, I'm a sucker for a gloss that is yummy. My Tower 28 glosses. I'm gonna keep these. They're starting to smell like they might not be good anymore, but I feel like I can get a little bit more out of them. They don't smell like they've gone totally bad. I don't know, you know how some lip glosses, especially the ones that don't have sugar in them, just start to kind of smell like they might be expiring. We'll give them a couple more months and I should probably throw them in the trash. I'm gonna get rid of this one from Rimmel. This is the Stay Plumped lip gloss. These are good. I just don't use it hardly ever. I'm gonna keep this one from Westman Atelier. It's just so fancy. It's actually a really pretty gloss. This is in the shade, I think it's Nana. Very pretty nude shade. It is a full-size gloss. It has sort of the mini cap at the top, which actually makes it kind of hard to find when I throw this in my purse, but it's very weighty. So if I feel around and you feel like feels almost like a bullet shell, probably not something I would recommend spending $40 on or however much this is, but I have it, so I'm gonna keep it. I think I can pass along these Wet n Wild ones. These are great. Tiny affordable lip glosses. I really like this glistening one. I think it's called like Champagne. I can't remember. The colors are not on, the stickers aren't on here anymore, but they're both old. I'm also going to get rid of the Wet n Wild lip oil. It doesn't smell yummy or anything, so if I want just basically a clear gloss on my lips, I'm gonna use something like this. This is gonna give me a little snack. And then this is the Dewy Glow from JCat Beauty. It's kind of more just like a basic pink lip balm. I just don't use this very often, so I'm gonna pass this along. Also gonna pass along the Pretty Smart lip oil, which I honestly don't even remember using this or what I thought about it. Although a part of me is thinking if I ever do a full face of Pretty Smart, I'm gonna keep it just in case I do one of those videos because I do love this brand. Actually, I just put that on my lips. It actually does feel pretty comfortable. So I'll keep this around a little bit longer. I'm keeping my Forget the Filler. This is just about gone. This is glazed. These right here, these are the Hard Candy Plumping Serum Lip Balms. If you guys have been with me from the beginning when I started talking about these, they don't even make these anymore. I still have these in a couple different places in my house. This one I brought in from my car. I still use these things all the time. I have one in my workout area that I put on my lips before I work out. I know not everybody loved these. I will forever be sad that they discontinued these though, because I still absolutely love these things. Okay, just a couple more things in this one. This is a Grande Lips Hydrating Lip Plumper Mini. I got this as like a Sephora gift. I never use it. I'm gonna pass that along. Got the L'Oreal lip gloss in the shade Pristine Pink. This is pretty. I don't use it very often, but I'll keep it around for now. I also really love the So Juicy lip pen. This one is in the shade Dolled Up. Very pretty. It smells very yummy. This one's the Kapari Clear Lip Gloss, which I really like. This was a gift from my daughter. She bought it at the Secret Santa shop. I don't think I've ever used it, but I won't declutter it because I thought it was so cute that she bought me some makeup. I think that was back in kindergarten. Okay, over here, this is the Revlon Super Lustrous Gloss in Snow Pink. This one's also very pretty. I'm definitely keeping my Profusion lip pen. I have a few of these. I'm missing a few. They're in a bag somewhere. I have one more of this color and then one more in the other color. This is Pretty in Pink. It's by far my favorite color. Pick this up if you see it at Walmart. It's one of the best lip pens that I've tried and it's like $3. I'm also gonna keep these two from e.l.f. I have Pinky Out and Bust a Nude, and then I'm gonna pass along this one, which is, my gosh, that writing is small. Plum On Over. I'll pass that one along. I just don't ever use it. I'm gonna get rid of my This Is Milky gloss in the shade Salted Caramel. It's okay. I like the regular butter glosses much better. Speaking of which, I'm gonna just throw those all in one container. I'm gonna get rid of this Pixie gloss, which I think I found on sale at like a Walgreens or something. It's a little too orange for me. And then I will most definitely be keeping my Buxom lip gloss in Sandy, which I just tried out for the first time. And I'll have some thoughts on this. You might see this, spoiler alert, in my upcoming favorites video. So let's put all my lip pens in here with the NYX. I'm gonna throw my glosses, most of my glosses back in here. See if I can make this all happen. And then we'll just designate this whole container for all of my lip balms and my Tower 28s. There we go, much better. Look at that, guys. All of my lip products are in one drawer. I am actually really excited about this. Very, very satisfying. And now I have this whole drawer to kind of restructure. So here's what I think I'm gonna do. We are going to take all of this stuff out. I actually think I'm gonna take all my setting sprays, move them over to another little drawer unit that holds all of my highlighters, and move my highlighters over here to live with my, actually probably up here to live with my bronzers, then move all the blushes down to one drawer. And then down at the bottom, I think I'm gonna clear all this stuff out and we'll do powders and concealers down here. So here's my drawer with bronzers and then all my highlighters are over here. So why don't we start with highlighters first, because I feel like that one's gonna be a little bit easier to tackle. First off, I know I can get rid of this one. This is the Afterglow highlighter. I found this at 5 and Below. This is the LA Girl Shimmer and Sparkle highlighter. Such pretty packaging, way too glittery, so glittery. I would never use that on my face. And then this is the JCat Beauty Cream Highlighting Quad. None of those worked for me. I'm also going to sadly part with my Essence the highlighters. This one's kind of broken. These are so good. I'm so sad they discontinued this. Essence has done this to me several times over the years. They'll come out with a product I think is so good and then they get rid of it. I have the Revolution Reloaded highlighters. This one is just my type, which is by far my favorite. And then I have the shade Dare to Divulge. So it's a little bit pinker and more icy. I'm gonna pass this one along and keep just my type. I'm definitely keeping the Essence Pure Nude, even though mine is broken. I think this is the second one I've had that has been broken. Always breaks, but even with broken packaging, this is one of the best highlighters at the drugstore to this day. I'm keeping this Peri Para highlighter, which I really love. I'm gonna keep the RMS Beauty highlighter for now because I haven't had it for that long. This is Prosecco Fizz. I don't love this as much as I was hoping that I would, but I don't hate it either. I just need some more time with it. I'm gonna keep the Becca one and the Peri Para. I'm keeping this NYX Buttermelt highlighter in the shade Bright and Butter. I wish they had some more normal shades. I love this formula. Some of the shades they offer are very strangely colorful. Let me know if you tried out some other shades that you liked. I'm definitely keeping my MAC Double Gleam, one of the best highlighters. I'm keeping my Revlon in Daybreak Glimmer. I actually have two of these. This one's broken, but this is my backup and I'm keeping them both. This is Zuma from Persona, which I thought I decluttered last time. I don't know how it made it back in here. Still such a good highlighter that I sometimes reach for in the summertime, even though I think I already decluttered it because they don't make it anymore. In my defense, sometimes my daughter plays in my makeup, so if it doesn't get picked through in my declutter bin, it sometimes ends up back in my drawer, and then I forget that I ever decluttered it at all. This is Wet n Wild Precious Petals, great drugstore highlighter. These are the two Nabla highlighters in Amnesia and Ozone. Love these both. This is the Gwen Stefani Platinum Cowgirl highlighter, which is pretty good. It's a different, it's more of a like white based highlighter. It's not quite as shimmery, but I kind of like it. This is one of my all-time favorite highlighters, Laura Mercier Highlight 01 Matte Radiance Baked Powder. Big fan of that one. I'm keeping my Natasha Denoni Super Glow. I am also keeping the Jaclyn highlighter in Iced, which I know has been discontinued, but man, you guys, this is so good. Packaging and color, great highlighter. I am definitely keeping my Anastasia Beverly Hills Sun Idol highlighter, my Pretty Smart highlighter in Golden Bloom, and I am also keeping my Melt Stargazer highlighter in Digital Dust. Oh, and one more thing. This is the Pearl Luminizer from JCat Beauty. I actually don't use this on myself very much, but I use it all the time if I'm doing someone's makeup for prom. I will often use this on the high points of their face. It's a very beautiful, icy, but like microfine sparkle glittery highlighter. Very pretty for special occasions. Okay, let's tackle these bronzers. I already can see a few I'm gonna get rid of. LA Colors Mosaic highlighter. Honestly, I have pretty light skin. This is too light even for me. It's the shade Sunkissed Bronze. We're gonna pass that along. I'm gonna get rid of my contour wand from Charlotte Tilbury. Mine's falling apart. I've had it forever and it's time. I'm going to keep both of my NYX Buttermelt bronzers, two of my favorites. I have shades 2 and 3, All Butted Up and Deserve Butta. I'm keeping my NARS cream bronzer in Laguna 02. I'm actually wearing this on my cheeks today. I am most definitely keeping the Too Faced Milk Chocolate Soleil bronzer. Love this. I'm keeping my Diamond bronzer, which is just about gone, and then I do have a backup, which I'll be breaking into any day. I'm keeping both of those. I'm gonna keep this. I actually don't know where to put this. It's kind of like a bronzer blush, so I don't know which drawer to put it in. So I think I have more room in this drawer, so I'll keep it in here. So over here, I'm gonna pull all of my cream stick highlighters over to this side. This one's from Essence. It's not the best formula out there, but it's super affordable, and for a good cheap drugstore bronzer stick, this one's pretty good. This is Cinnamon Spice. Okay, these are both Mojave from Persona. This is the new packaging, this is the old packaging. I'm gonna pass along the old packaging, but this is probably one of my very favorite cream stick bronzers. I'm gonna keep this one around. This is the foundation stick from Essence that I recently tried. I've actually been kind of enjoying this one. This is the shade 210. This is the About Face in Beach Goth. There's some things about this one, I don't love it as much as some of my others. I don't hate it, but I want to keep it around because I do have plans to do a like mass bronzer stick overview in an upcoming video, and I want to keep this one around for that. I like it. There's some things about it that I don't like as much as some of my other ones though. This is the Merit in Clay, which I absolutely love. And this is Persona Sahara, which is too dark for me, but I'm gonna keep it around for now. I do sometimes like, this one's a little bit warmer than Mojave. I just have to use a lighter hand with it, but the formula of this, I love the Persona Dreamstick formula. I'm also gonna keep the Putty bronzer from e.l.f. In fact, we're gonna move this over here, and then I'm gonna try and pull most of my cream bronzers over here. This is the Fenty Beauty Butter Biscuit, which I absolutely love. I also really like the Revolution Ultra Cream Bronzer in Light. Now, this says it's the shade Light. If you have fair skin, especially if you're more fair than me, I'm like a light medium. This one's even a little too dark for me, so you want to use a light hand if you have fair skin, but the formula of this is really nice. I also love the Makeup by Mario Skin Enhancer in light medium, although this thing's pricey and you burn through it super fast, but if you have super fair skin, you feel like everything turns you orange or it's too dark for you. This is a really mild color. It's a very soft and easy to blend, very undetectable on your skin. Like in a good way, not like it doesn't show up, but just it's very natural looking. So my Charlotte Tilbury, although I feel like this needs to stay over here because of its size, this is fantastic. More of a cool kind of contouring shade, but I love the formula of this. I'm gonna keep my Physicians Formula Butter Bronzer Contour Palette. I don't use this as much as I used to, but the formula is really nice. I'm gonna keep my Hourglass 2 bronzers. I have Luminous Bron Light and then a mini of Diffused Bron Light, which is a little bit deeper and cooler. I love the Hourglass bronzer formula. I keep those. I'm gonna keep my e.l.f. Forever Sun-Kissed. I think I'm gonna pass along the LYS bronzer. Mine, the magnet doesn't close very easily. I have to like push the little magnet in because this magnet fell out. I could always glue it back in, but honestly, I didn't love this bronzer as much as I thought that I might. The packaging's a little bit awkward. The only thing I like about it is that it reminds me of the Office episode where they you know, the pyramid rollout. Definitely keeping my Pretty Smart bronzer. This is in Hermosa 2. Great powder bronzer. Keeping the Laura Mercier in Marseille. Love this. I'm keeping the Nabla Ombre bronzer. I'm gonna keep my NARS Old Laguna bronzer. It's the old packaging. I'm gonna keep my Thrive Cosmetics Rhea, which is a great powder bronzer. Probably for my fair skin friends, the two best powder bronzers that are not orange at all are Rhea from Thrive and Sunrise L1 from Flower Beauty, which is hard to find these days, but these are both beautiful shades of bronzer for those of you that have very fair skin. I keep Milani shade number 2. I'm gonna keep my Wet n Wild in Sunset Strip Tease, and I'm going to pass along Ticket to Brazil, which is way too orange for me. I'm gonna keep this one, which I think is discontinued. This is from, I think it's from Kiko. Beautiful packaging. It's really nice and warm, but I actually really like this bronzer a lot. I'm gonna keep my Patrick Ta. This is She's Sculpted. Love the cream bronzer in this one. I'm gonna pass along the Relove Super Bronzer. This was a pretty good $3 bronzer from the drugstore, but this brand, again, is, I think, no more. And then last, I'm keeping my Charlotte Tilbury Film Star Bronze and Glow. Not my most used, but I like the travel size of this one. It's a good formula. The highlighter formula is a little bit on the weak side, but you guys know I love my highlighter to be beaming, maybe more beaming than I should like. Okay, organizing that was a fiasco, but there we have it. Look how nice and clean and empty that looks. Now, if this doesn't give you anxiety, I don't know what will. Oh, this makes me kind of crazy. So we're just gonna kind of go through and just pick out the things I just am not gonna be using anymore. I'm gonna start with the LYS. Again, the packaging size of this just makes it very difficult to store. I liked this shade. This was Self Love, but not my most used powder bronzer. So I'm gonna pass this along, let someone else enjoy it. I'm passing along the Haus Labs Glassy Hibiscus. I don't really love this for my lips or my cheeks. I think my daughter-in-law will really love this, so I'm gonna give this to her. I'm also gonna pass along the Tower 28 in Long Beach Iced Tea. I just don't love this shade on me. It's a little bit too light for me. It's kind of more like a bronzery, cool shade. I didn't love that very much. I think the formula was nice, I just didn't love the shade. I'm also gonna pass along these two blush mallows from JCat Beauty. Both of these colors were just a little bit too bold for me. This is from Pretty Smart. This is a lip and cheek stain. I really like their powder blush, but I'm not as wild about this one. This is a little trio from, I got on Yes Style. It's kind of like the Kaja eye trios. It's smaller in size, so speaking of Kaja, I have this Playa Bento cheek set here. This is in the shade Buttered Up 01. I love the blush and the bronzer in this. I don't like the highlighter in this one. It's a little bit too pink for me, but I'm gonna keep it because I love the bronzer and the blush in that one. This is obviously way too small. I liked the bronzer and blush in this one as well, but it was just a little bit too small. It'd be cute for the eyes, but I just don't need it. I'm gonna pass along NARS Madly, which is a beautiful, very natural blush shade. I just don't use it. Honestly, it's probably too light on me now that I'm self-tanning these days. I am going to keep every one of my Buttermelt blushes for now. I like them all. I imagine when I get to know them all a little bit better, I'll probably get rid of 1 or 2 shades. I'm also going to keep both of my ColourPop cream lip and cheek stains or lip and cheek balms. I love Larchmont Village. It looks a really nice kind of corally shade. This is the About Face Cheek Freak Blush in Champagne Room. I like this. It's kind of a strange formula. It actually kind of reminds me of a slightly less bouncy version of the Glow Play blushes from MAC. I'm gonna keep it for now. To be honest, I'm not like wild about this. I don't dislike it. Maybe I just need a little more time with it. I am gonna keep all of my Glow Play blushes because these are some of my favorites. I've got Natural, So Natural, Blush Please, and Grand. I love them all. MAC is one of those brands that, you know, they've been around forever, but I still love my MAC makeup. I also have these mineralized blushes in Warm Soul and Gentle. Both of these are lovely. I'm gonna keep those. Sorry, had to kind of readjust. I'm gonna pass along the Physicians Formula Butter Glow and Go. I love the bronzer in this so much, but honestly, I like the cream diamond bronzer almost just as much as I like this one. And I don't love the blush shade of this. I'm gonna get rid of the e.l.f. Camo Liquid Blush. I like this, okay. I've just come to the conclusion that liquid blushes are just not for me. Cream blushes, different story. I love a good cream blush, but a liquid, Blush just doesn't quite work for what I like from my blush formula, so I'm gonna pass that along. I feel like I should keep these two Rare Beauty ones. They're such pretty packaging. I'm gonna keep these for now. One's a little bit more of a glowy, one's a matte finish. Honestly, I don't use these all that much though. I'm gonna keep all my Flower Beauty. Okay, actually, I'm gonna pass along Citrus Crush, which is a little bit too orangey for me. I'm gonna get rid of Strawberry Crush. That's that kind of Barbie-ish pink one, and I'm going to keep Peach, Raspberry, and Blackberry Crush. I am going to keep all of my Juicy Pink water blushers because I'm kind of attached to these. I don't use them as much as I used to, as I've gotten a lot more hyperpigmentation over the last like 4 years. That's kind of why I've just come to the conclusion that liquid blushes just take too much coverage away from my cheeks. But I still will use these on occasion. They still smell amazing. They're like 4 or 5 years old, but again, I'm kind of attached to those because the packaging is so adorable. Keeping my Kaja. I'm gonna keep these two cream blushes from Sydney Grace. I have Lovebirds and Dreamy. Honestly, I've only used these about 4 or 5 times. I need to give them some more love. There's really not a reason I haven't used them. Well, there is a reason because I have so much stuff. I'm gonna pass along the Tower 28 Beach Please Magic Hour cream blush. I just don't use it very much anymore. It's getting very, very old. I am going to keep my Patrick Ta in She's So LA. I'm keeping both of my Nabla blushes in Soft Nude and Touch My Soul. I'm so sad that they don't have Touch My Soul anymore. Oh, I should have picked those all up while I had the chance. I'm gonna keep both my Nabla blushes in Independence and Truth. These are both lovely. Actually, I'm gonna keep Independence. I'm gonna pass along Truth, which I just don't use as much anymore. It's a little bit too shiny for me. I'm keeping Petal Poppin' from Fenty Beauty. Such a great cream blush. Keeping the Pretty Smart blush in Goddess. Beautiful formula for powder blush. I am also gonna keep Mood Exposure from Hourglass. I just forget about this blush. This is a great winter blush shade that I forget about sometimes. It kind of reminds me of this one from Physicians Formula. I think I'm gonna pass this one along. This is the Natural Glow. There's a minute where I use this all the time, but I haven't used it for a couple of years. I'm just gonna pass it along. Keeping the Makeup by Mario in Perfect Pink. Let's tackle these palettes really quick. So I am going to be keeping both of my Hourglass palettes, kind of to my chagrin. They're not bad. I just have my issues with these, mainly the price of these, and every time I pull these out I complain about it, but I can't get rid of them. They were too expensive. I'm gonna get rid of all of my Relove blush and highlight duos. These are great, but again, this brand you can't really find anymore, so pass those along. I am going to keep my Dream Cheek Trio. Beautiful blush. Nice highlighter. I need to use this more than I do. I actually like this quite a bit. And I am keeping both of my Pat McGrath palettes. This one, I love the bronzer. I like the blush. I don't like the highlighter. This one, I love these two blush shades, both of which are permanent, I believe. And then I don't like the highlighter in this one either. But Pat McGrath blush formula is stunning. Okay, we need some more containers. I'm gonna keep all of my powder blushes from Persona. I've got Georgia, Carmel, and Bubble. I'm also gonna keep these 3 blushes from Essence, the Pure Nude blushes in Bold Heart, Berry Cheeks, and Rosy Rosewood. These are such a great formula. Okay, this I'm gonna pass along, the LA Girl on Cloud 9 Bouncy Blush and Bronzer in Misty Mauve. Keeping this Sephora blush. Love the cream in these. I like the powders as well. I wanna pick up another shade. I've been saying that for a while. Still haven't done it, but maybe one of these days I will. This is from Revolution. This was like a cheek balm. This kind of reminds me of I haven't tried Jones Road yet, but this kind of reminds me of what the Jones Road. I did not like this at all. It was super greasy on me. It should have made it into a speed review, and it got shoved to the back of a drawer, and I forgot that I even ever tried this, but I did not like it at all. I do remember that. Okay, this little blush is a K-Beauty blush that I am only keeping for Charlie because she likes to come down here and, I mean, that's just the cutest thing ever. That remind you of like the 40s. Way back here are my House Labs. I'm definitely keeping these. This is Hibiscus Haze and French Rosette. Absolutely love these. One more Baked Nude blush in Cool Coral. If I can fit it, I'll keep that too. Now let's try and get all these in here. I do have some repeat items in here. I'm gonna pass these along. They're actually lip products, but these were beautiful on the cheeks. This color, guys, on your cheeks, look at that color. Isn't that so pretty? They smell like apple juice. They smell amazing. And then this one is Pomelo Skin. Also beautiful. Okay, I'm gonna keep the Nucadamia and I'm gonna pass on Pomelo Skin. I'm gonna keep all of my Merit mini blushes. I have Fox, Rouge, and Beverly Hills. I don't know that all of these are permanent shades. I really like these. I haven't used them a lot lately because they've kind of been overshadowed by my Persona ones, but I do really like them. Speaking of Persona, let's tackle these really quick. I have Teddy, Kiss, and Guava. So I have a repeat of Teddy in their old packaging. I'll pass that along. And then I have Bubble, still in their old packaging, Bloom, Carmel, and Georgia. I think I'll keep them all. I love the Persona blush sticks. I think they're great. I am gonna pass along the LA Girl blush stick in, what was this, Hot Nights. Mine actually broke. It was okay. These are all the Milk Makeup Lip and Cheeks, the old ones. I've definitely been using the jelly ones a lot more recently, but I do like these as well. I love Work. That's an old favorite of mine. I'll definitely keep that. I think I'm gonna pass along Perk. It's a little bit too light for me, so I'll pass that one along. And I'm going to keep Flip, Quirk, which is kind of like a brownish kind of mauve. And then I'm gonna keep Quickie, which is a good like deep blackberry shade, so pretty. Okay, and then I'm keeping all of my Milk jelly tints. My two favorites are Splash and Chill. If you had to pick just two shades, those are the two shades I would pick. I think it's these two. I also have Fresh, Spritz, Burst, and Fizz, which are all good. I am gonna get rid of my Relove Jelly Blush Lip and Cheek Stain. This actually I thought was a good dupe for these, but it dried out rather quickly, so mine's pretty much expired. I'll probably throw that one away. I'm also gonna pass along the Undone Peach. This is basically the same formula. This actually came out before the Milk one. I like it, I just don't use it anymore. And then this Wet n Wild Cream Blush. This actually looks prettier on the skin than I thought it would. It's pretty shimmery. I just don't use it very much and this lid falls off sometimes, so we'll pass that one along as well. So there we have it, guys. Move these over here, move my palettes over here, and then I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put all my lashes back behind there. This is the last drawer, so I'm going to take all of my nail polishes out of here. I'm probably gonna find a new spot for all these samples, and then I'm gonna pull my concealers in here and we'll tackle powders and concealers next. Okay, so I got rid of my old container, which I think was like an old ground turkey container that I've had for like 10 years. I dumped all those concealers into this container right here and they actually fit perfectly, but we do have some we're gonna be getting rid of for sure. Here's all my powders. I have this extra little container right here that maybe I'll use for overflow. Maybe I'll put like sponges in here. So let's tackle powders first. This is a Rimmel Stay Matte that's kind of, I've hit pan on. Usually when they get like this, because it's such a cheap powder, I just throw them away. So we'll toss that one. I have a backup right here and then I have one that I'm just barely starting to hit pan on right now. This will probably go back up on top of my desk. I have this on top of my desk at all times or in my little Shop My Stash unit. I'm gonna keep my e.l.f. Halo Glow powder. I don't know. Don't come to me for advice on powders because a powder is a powder to me. I don't notice huge differences between them all. Not enough to where I notice huge differences. That might partly be because I just use such a light amount of powder when I use it. This is the Diamond Blur powder. This is very similar to something along the lines of like the RCMA No Color. Very lightweight powder. I'll keep that as well. I'm gonna keep my peach powder. This is a K-Beauty, basically same thing, kind of like a white powder that's basically translucent. This is a little sample that I think a subscriber sent me. I'm not sure what brand of powder this is. I actually really like it though. This is an old poreless putty primer that I thought I already decluttered. Again, this happens on occasion. I'm gonna throw that in the garbage because it's very old. This is an old Wet n Wild powder that I don't use anymore. That can also be thrown away. This is my Physicians Formula Butter Glow Pressed Powder, which I do like. It's another one. I think these came together from a subscriber and I do use them both. RCMA No Color Powder I'll be keeping. The e.l.f. Halo Glow Powder, I think this has new packaging now. I should probably replace this. I'm gonna try and buy the newer one that is in the loose powder. I think it's in pink packaging now. I'm gonna get rid of this one. I'm also gonna get rid of the Fit Me powder. I have the shade 110, which is way too light for me. This Jordana powder, it actually has really good coverage. This is like it's almost like a powder foundation. I'm gonna keep this one. Found a few stragglers. This is the CC Cream Airbrush Perfecting Powder Illumination. I'll be keeping that one. I'm gonna keep the Wet n Wild Pink, Soft Pink Setting Powder. I don't love this that much. I feel like feels a little gritty to me. I still don't really get the pink highlighter thing. Like I don't think it really does anything to brighten up my skin particularly well that my concealer can't do. This is the Fair Loose Setting Powder. I'm gonna get rid of this, way too light for me. So what I'm actually gonna do is I'm gonna take this container, move it to my blush drawer, and then I'm gonna put this in here for any overflow, or actually I think I'll put my sponges in here. Let's tackle these concealers now though. I'm definitely getting rid of this NYX Pro Fix Stick concealer stick. This was way too dark for me and I didn't like the formula either. Got this She Glam one that I actually really liked, but it's gone now, so I'm going to throw that away. I'm gonna get rid of the Rimmel, the Multitasker concealer. I did a video recently of some makeup I picked up at Five Below, including these, both of which are completely the wrong shade, way too light, way too dark for me, and they're just so far in the wrong direction that I can't get either of them to work for me in any combination. It's just too much guesswork. Okay, I'm also gonna pass on these Incognito concealer. I really like this concealer. I haven't found my perfect shade. I'm also gonna pass along my Conceal It from LA Colors. Do you guys like this concealer? I know I tried it out once before. I bought it again somewhat recently. I just wasn't all that impressed with it. Maybe I got the wrong shade. This is shade Light. It's a good affordable concealer. I don't know, I didn't love it. I like this one. This is the Essence Keep Me Covered. This one is in the shade, I think it's 50. This is an old concealer I got from Yes Style. It's I'm Honey. I don't even know what shade this is in. I can't read it. So it's old. I'm gonna pass that along. Here's another Incognito concealer. This one is a newer one. I haven't opened it yet. Shade Light Medium. I'll keep that one because I know that one's not expired. I think I'm gonna pass along these two little tip concealers. Haven't used it for a long time though. I got it thinking it'd be good for travel purposes, and then I realized concealer really doesn't take up that much space anyway. They are the same shade. I will pass one along and put one in my to-go bag. Definitely keeping my Skin Silk. I know I have two of these somewhere. There's the backup. This one's about probably more than halfway gone. This is my backup. I'm definitely keeping that. I'm gonna get rid of these. These are the Relove Super Concealers. I really liked these, but again, this brand can't really find anymore. Keeping my Bye Bye Under Eyes. I'm keeping all of my Flower Beauties. I think I have 3 different shades. If you can still get your hands on this concealer, it's fantastic. It's a great, great high coverage serum light concealer, very hydrating. I'm keeping both of my Dior Forever concealers. Gonna keep the Pretty Smart concealer. That's a good drugstore one. My e.l.f. Camo Hydrating Concealers. Those are both great. I'm gonna keep all of my Physicians Formula concealers. Another good one that I have raved about in the past. I haven't talked about it recently, but I still love this concealer. Definitely keeping my Natasha Denona. Keeping my House Labs. Keeping my 2 Revlon Flex Wears. These are favorites of mine. As you guys know, I love this Burst concealer. Keeping my Cali Ray. Keeping my Double Wear. Such a good budge-proof buildable concealer. A little bit on the dry side, but you don't need very much of this and it really builds up nicely. Keeping my YSL All Hours Good Value Concealer. High end, but you get a lot of product in here. Same thing goes for the Lancome Tanti Doll, 0.4 ounces, I believe. 0.43. That does not look like it has 0.43 ounces in it, but apparently it does. Keeping this Pretty Fresh in Light 50W. And then I am keeping these 2 Co-Sauces, which are both about finished. Honestly, I bet there's not much left to scrape out of those, but I will keep them for now and try and finish them up. And there we have it. That looks so much better. We're gonna move back up to my blush drawer. There we go, that's better. And then I'm gonna move all those MAC blushes that I pulled out of the way. I set them up on on the top of the desk and then I forgot about them. So move all these MAC blushes here. Got all of my NYX blushes that need to go here somewhere. Oh boy, yeah, now we're running out of room, aren't we? Cindy Gray's cream blushes are going back there. About Face is gonna go right there. Got all my palettes over here. There we go. Okay, I'm gonna walk you guys through everything. I did end up moving a couple of these drawers around. So first we have my primers, brow products, plenty of extra space in here. Then we have all of my foundations. And then below that, this is where I ended up making a change. So I initially, at the end of the last portion, I had my concealers down at the bottom. So I swapped those out with my lip products, which just made more sense in the order of application as far as my makeup products go. So I've got my concealers, my powders, my sponges here. Then down here, I've got my bronzers and highlighters with plenty of room. I've got some extra eyeliners at the back. Then we have my blushes, which I'm so excited about this because blush is one of those things that I end up needing to declutter the fastest. And I have plenty of room to grow, plenty of room here on the side. And then last we have all of my lip products. So I've got 1 bin of lipsticks over there, lots of lip balms and lip glosses, and then some lip liners, which I did not really go through or declutter. I'm gonna do that at a later time. For now, I'm just gonna leave those as they are. That is it for my drawer unit. Really quick, I wanna walk you guys through this top section here. Just a couple things I wanna get rid of. So this is just where all my fragrances are right here. I've got all my Oakcha ones, which there's a handful of these I absolutely love, and then quite a few I just feel so about. One I definitely want to declutter because I think it's awful. This I'm not going to tackle today. I could probably declutter a few brushes, organize this a little bit better, but really the only two things I want to pass along are this right here. This is from Oakcha. This is the Beekeeper. This is meant to be a dupe for one of the Jo Malone fragrances. By the way, if you're not familiar with Oakcha, they do a lot of dupe fragrances for some really popular perfumes. This one I can't remember what it's a dupe for, but I did not like it. And then this is the Sol de Janeiro Aqua Mystica. This I think was a new release in the spring or the summer. I've used it a few times. I thought I kind of liked it, but the more I've used it, the more I've realized I'm just not a big fan of this scent. I absolutely love the original yellow one, and then the 59 I've talked a lot about. I love this one, but this one I'm just not going to be using that much, so I'm going to pass those two along. Everything else I'm just going to leave as is. I got to put my eyeshadow palettes, my fall eyeshadow palettes, back in my little dividers here, but that's it for now. Last little section we need to tackle. This is just a little table that sits off to the left of me while I filmed, opposite side of the white drawers. It used to hold my highlighters and my mascaras. It now holds my setting sprays and mascaras. So here are my setting sprays. I'm not going to be decluttering any of these. I tried to place these so that you could see them all. I do have one from Milk Makeup here at the back. And then down below that are my mascaras. And this, we need to tackle some of these. I'm not sure that my mascara drawer has ever been this full. So I'm going to start off by, there's a couple that I know I want to declutter. I did not like the Pretty Smart mascara. That I can get rid of. I did not like the Big Papa mascara. That one I can get rid of. This Sky High mascara is old and dried out, so I can actually just throw that one away. I'm keeping both of my Persona mascaras, the brown and the black. I'm definitely keeping this Panorama mascara, which is relatively new. Keeping my Tarte tubing mascara, which is also pretty new. By the way, I have an update on this one for you guys. That will be coming in my monthly favorites video shortly. Keeping my Wrap Lash, keeping my Sky High. I'm also keeping the Sky High primer, which I probably could get rid of this one because I just don't use it as much as my regular Sky High. It's a little bit more natural. It's a little bit easier to remove. I'm gonna go ahead and throw away this lash extender. I think this is my second tube of this that I've completely used up. I do have a backup of it right here. You guys probably know this is one of my favorites. I'm actually gonna pass along this IT Cosmetics mascara, the Superhero. This is the original one. It's not water resistant enough for me. It does run when my eyes start to water. It looks amazing on the lashes. This is actually pretty new. I don't know that I've ever used this. I think I opened it about 6 months ago, so I can probably pass this along to like a friend or a family member. I've got these two Cali Rays that I'll keep. I think, yeah, this one's brand new. The one with the X on it is brand new. I haven't opened that one yet. Actually, I'm gonna go ahead and get rid of this one. I think it's kind of dried out. I'm also gonna toss the Lashy Doll from Lancome. I like this one. I actually wanted to pick up a full size, but I just haven't gotten around to it. I'm trying so many mascaras out all the time. The drugstore has been killing it with mascaras lately, so I just don't feel compelled to spend a lot of money on a mascara. I'm also gonna keep my Profusion mascara. I really like this. It's a little bit tricky to put on. You really need a comb handy. It's a little clumpy, but once you get it just right, it lasts well. It's like $3.98, which is insane. Pretty water resistant, and it does great things for my lashes. These two e.l.f. mascaras, I'm gonna pass these two along. I feel like if I'm ever gonna reach for an e.l.f. mascara, it's gonna be the lash extender. So these can both be tossed in the trash. I'm also gonna pass along or throw away the Butter Bronzer mascara. If I'm gonna use a brown mascara, I'll just use the Persona one, which I like a little bit better. I'm gonna pass along my Dream Warrior mascara, which I love, but this one's a little bit old. It's drying out, and I don't know if you can still buy this on Ulta. Some Flower Beauty products you can still get on Ulta. I do recommend it. I think it's great. But honestly, I have other ones from the drugstore that I think I've learned to like a little bit better than this one, so I probably won't repurchase this. I'm gonna keep the Diamond mascara. I like this one. I like the Essence Lash Without Limits. It's not my favorite, but I do like it. I'm gonna keep the Lash Princess just because I know it's a favorite of so many people. It's not water resistant, so I can't really use it for any time I know my eyes might be watering if I'm spending any time outside at all or in the sun. But for just every day wearing around the house or running errands, this is a good one. I'm keeping my Tower 28. This one's probably like 7 months old. I should probably get a move on finishing this thing up. I'm questioning whether or not I'll buy a new one of this. I think I like the Tarte Tubing mascara a little more than this one. It's a little bit more water resistant as well, although there's some issues with that one, which I'll talk to you guys about very soon. I know some of you have been waiting for an update on that mascara. Pat McGrath, This looks so good on the lashes. It runs a lot. So if my eyes water at all, this is gonna run right off. If you're crying, definitely not a mascara I'd recommend, but it looks so fluttery and feathery on your lashes. So I'm gonna keep that one. And then these two, I've never opened the Huda Beauty Legit lashes. I've yet to open that. And then the Bad Gal Bang Mini. I think this one's relatively new-ish. I'm gonna keep this one. I like this mascara. Another one I've thought about buying a full size, but I have yet to do it. And there we have it. Doesn't that look so much better? All right, that is it for part 1. I hope you guys enjoyed this one. Again, stay tuned for part 2, which will be coming shortly, and we will go through all of my eyeshadow palettes, see how much success I can have there. So again, make sure you're subscribed if you haven't done that yet, and I will hope to see you guys in my next video. Bye.